Feng Shui Relationships with the Fantastic Five Somatic Archetypes by Renee Lindstrom, author of the Somatic Archetypes. Feng Shui Relationships with the Somatic Archetypes. The responses of the somatic archetypes are triggered by the environment. The Fantastic Five, sight, sound, smell, touch, and taste, motivate responses and actions influenced by the elusive and solid experiences in the environment. The focus of Feng Shui is to create a balance of yin and yang energies, masculine and feminine. If there is too much yang, the somatic responses will be aggressive to match the energy. Too much yin will encourage depressed states to match the energies. Therefore, the purpose of Feng Shui is to create an environment that will support all the archetype needs for balance, harmony, and motivation. It would be in the best interest to learn your dominant archetype senses to provide articles, furniture, fabric, and sound to please your dominant senses. When you share a space, consider every person's archetype. This would improve relationships and benefit connections. The value in this suggestion is that each person will view the space through their own somatic lens and the needs that may accompany them. An artist's dominant sense will be inspired by patterns, shapes, textures, pictures, color schemes, etc. A perfumer's dominant sense of smell may be inspired by fragrance, flowering plants, herbs, spices, all in the home. Consideration of each person is as important as balancing the space to meet everyone's needs. Observing the environment from a Feng Shui perspective would also look at the alertness needed for each separate environment. The alertness levels would need to be higher at work and lower at home or in a meditation space. Each location would be viewed for the messages that are obvious in the landscape, and adjustments would need to be made to the overall environment that would support each somatic archetype. These archetypes are sight. There is a picture of an eye with a lens looking out at the world with beauty. The word beauty is typed beside it. That suggests that there would be an environment filled with beauty for the dominant sight sense. Smell has the word fragrance typed beside it, and in the picture it's a beautiful woman in a lab coat looking at a bottle of oil or fragrance with bottles of fragrance or oils all over the table, surrounded by flowers and color. Touch. Beside the picture of touch is the word textures. The picture is of a hand with curled fingers reaching down to touch a soft blanket that has a texture to it. And so textures would be important on the surfaces to touch. Sound. In the picture of sound, there's a man with a guitar and a microphone singing into it and strumming the strings on his guitar with musical notes swirling around the environment. And the word sound is typed by the picture. So in the home or office, there might be objects that create sound. There could be a water fountain or a breeze, a fan creating a breeze. So sound would be important for a dominant sound sense. Taste. The picture is of a beautiful woman with her eyes closed and a square of food in her fingers and a table laid out with beautiful foods and colors and fruits in front of her. And the word flavors is typed by the picture. So in a home or office space, it would be useful to have something that reflected flavors, whether it was spices in jars that were visible on the counter in the kitchen, or little dishes of snack foods that were spicy or intriguing around the office and home. Something to intrigue the taste sense. The somatic archetypes are the senses of perception. I'll say that again. The somatic archetypes are the senses of perception in the environment that stimulate and determine the tone of how the information is perceived. For example, if an environment is cold, empty, and gray, and a person experiencing it has a dominant visual sense, these features would increase the chance that the tone would be cool and disconnected versus a warm, connected one. The influence is elusive, and it shapes the emotional response that affects mental and physical responses. It is as potent as how someone communicates their responses in a dialogue with you. The environment, in essence, is communicating silently with your somatic senses. I offer Feng Shui consultations that explore the environment. This focus of attention is woven into the personal and group somatic communication and movement session classes and workshops. This topic pairs well for increasing the quality in relationships and functional movement. Please investigate the classes and a personal session or a consult. You can go to my website at www.insideawareness.com. Read more about the fantastic 5 somatic archetypes. There is an article called The Original Somatic Archetypes, which is the introduction. The Somatic Archetypes, the Fantastic 5, which identifies the 5 archetypes in individual detail. The Somatic Archetypes in Functional Movement, and now this one on Somatic Archetypes in Feng Shui. Please like and subscribe or follow me on Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, TikTok, X, Pinterest, and Tumblr. I hope you enjoyed this content, and if so, please like and subscribe, and I'll catch you on the next one.